What's going on, people? It's Awakened Heathen. Amber is pretty tired tonight, so she will not be joining us for this Higurashi. But she will most likely join us a little bit later for some following episodes. But since I said that I was going to go live on Saturday, dude, I'm going live on Saturday. What's up, James? Just about to get this thing started. Trying to adjust my audio levels. Seeing if... because audio levels are finicky as crap sometimes when it comes to this stuff. Sometimes the game audio is too low to where you can't hear it. Sometimes it's too high to where you can't hear us. But, you know, it is a thing. So, I've never played this game before. All I've heard is of this, it's really good. Kind of pioneer for visual novels of some caliber and whatnot. So, let's get this thing started. I have no idea why my mic... this is too loud in my ear. There. I have no idea why my mic always just flat out turns off sometimes on the stream scene. So, I don't know. So yeah, Higurashi When They Cry. Welcome to the world of Higurashi When They Cry, the Anakakushi arc. I probably butchered that, but oh well, fuck it. When the opening invite will be the opening inviting you into this world. Don't play tough. Please just enjoy life in Hinanazawa to the fullest. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you'll enjoy the reward. So, a visual novel has difficulty? I guess in like decisions and stuff? That wasn't creepy at all. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? This is a work of fiction. 1983. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But staring, I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice, and those tears. Damn. That mechanical, repetitious sound. It's going too fucking fast. Only the cryo... what is it? Kinkadas? Remain annoyingly loud, and yet... can it not go so fast? She never cried. The only crying is me. Jesus fucking Christ. Even if she repeated those words over and over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there were none to show. This is the worst Let's Play ever. I'm just gonna let the thing go on the screen. I'm doing good, Arcana. I'm gonna stop fucking reading this shit because it's going too fucking fast. That's enough, right? So yeah. How have you been, Arcana? She's good, she's just really tired tonight, so it's just gonna be me tonight. Sorry. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. So, isn't it alright just to take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind with her, like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting her head. I loved your demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because I swing this down, I'll forget. This is mine. First and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did. I love you. Higurashi, when they cry. I really wish that it let me like click, cause you know I want to read slow. Oh, here we go. Well, this is how it should be. Should have been like that in the beginning, you know. But you know, I'm not gonna like criticize or anything. But I'm trying to do it for. I'm trying to do it for the stream, you know. Kind of read slow and dramatic, like, you know. But it just kept going. And it was like big paragraphs. So like, oh, you better read this fast, motherfucker. But you know, here is normal visual novel style. We can go forward now. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. I wonder what she's apologizing for. I've already read that. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I'd last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads are kind of, this is Higurashi when they cry. It's a moving sticker that moves around your screen that does things. After the stream, look them up. What do you mean? What sticker? Is that why it kept moving fast, or? Anyway. The melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks. Shimiji? Oh, you were talking to James. He has a Monica Shimiji that walks around to watch with him. Oh, I got you now. I thought you were talking about this game. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There is nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't any vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I had lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? Who? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. This is a visual novel. It's just a fairly old one. I think it released in like 2000, 2001 or 2. So I got it in a humble bundle, but I heard it was like, pretty acclaimed, So I was like, after Doki Doki, might as well go through that. I got like all like 5 arcs or whatever in the humble bundle. She's still apologizing even now. There has being a streamer, knowing how to talk, it's a good thing, right? Then, as she really does something that can't be fixed. Then has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey you, the one she's apologizing to, why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Kichi, we're almost there. Wake up. I finally aroused from my nap by my father's prodding. It seemed the train has finally reached its stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window in the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No. They were even from the same era. From there, we'd take a car deeper into the mountains. past where the dense forest approaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. There, where I live now, Hinnam Izawa. Higurashi when they cry. Just bear with me, guys. We'll get through this. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with the crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window. Sorry. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side. So I was probably the only one enjoying that view in the air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinanabazawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. I quickly finished, ready for school, and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and a grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm so happy you've been waking up since we moved here, Kichi. If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice? Or will half be enough? Pile it on. First I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice I enjoyed the crunch of the pickle. Not bad at all. Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, my mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Kichi. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made each morning, that was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious stage. I wouldn't so much as look at breakfast she woke up every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Rina-chan? Hurry, hurry. Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Rena is one of my classmates. She really loved looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Rena wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Please thank Rena-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a little bit more. Morning. Kichi-kun, good morning. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious and such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Kichi-kun, you're so cold. I'll wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust without looking back. Why are you so mean? Why? Rena had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly the mood changed. I'm kidding, I'd wait for you. With those words, Rena's sound seemed relaxed. Her face flushed bright red. Thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Rena. No matter how long. Forever? Rena turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. Have you ever read a romance? No. Have you ever read Have you ever read a romance novel, Rena? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing, you're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't too salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who picked them, Rena? Or was it your mom? Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Rena, or was it your mom? What? Why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. Huh? She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst, guys like me. Rena nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. Delicious. Huh? Pretty good. Just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red. Again. She was completely spacing out. It was truly a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Rena never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at it, Rena. I'll train you until you can handle it like the average person. Or so I decided for myself. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she'd just keep spacing out otherwise, I called Rena back to reality so we could make our way to school. This strange, easily flustered girl, Reno Ryugu, I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. Michan, good morning. Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. Ah, finally. You two are late. Usually, you're the ones who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rena, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. Morning, Rena. It's been a while, Chiki-chan. How many years? I was only off for 2 days. You don't say. You were so much cuter back then. Mion's gaze started at my chest, then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. So she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then. Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Okay. Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem though. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. Don't say next time right now. Right now is just fine. Don't say next time. Right now is just fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh air, morning air? Guys, I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty. I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Rena began to ramble in near panic. Jesus fucking Christ. What did I decide to play? Oh god. And I guess Arcana and James have checked out. Let's see. Yep, it's just me. You guys just left me alone for this weird shit. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. How was it? Seeing the city again. Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning. Thank God. I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time. So yeah. Did you look for it? That thing I asked for? You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have time to look around in toy stores. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know. It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here, after all. Is this about games, Michan? Mian nodded proudly as Rena giggled. Yep, I wanted... Huh, hold on guys, it seemed like OBS freaking disconnected for some reason. Oh my god. Hold on, guys. Alright, we're back. Okay. I was just making sure that the OBS was just messing up for a split second, but it seems to be going alright now, so I don't know if you missed anything or whatnot, but you can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you? Well, guess I have to now. I'm going to get another game full of hot action. This time, I'd like to get a game that's easy to understand. Mian is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Rena, Mian's room has kind of become a museum of domestic and foreign games. If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too. Huh? Of course. If Ki-chan is up for it, we should warn you though, we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. Whoa. Then we'll let you in the group this time, I guess. Bristling with joy, from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mian. Mian gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked even further. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I moved here less than a month ago. I understand. They did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel like home. I'll have to try harder to fit in. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. Hinenemazawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There was about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago there used to be bigger schools building. There used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that's a bad thing. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the first room. Too bad I wasn't going to fall for that again. To think you'd give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face. What is it, you guys? Step back, Rena. It's dangerous. She's here. Huh? Then, Sadako-chan is... Her name was Sadako-chan. Sadako Hojo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap. A blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious, Sadako. A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. Excellent, Ki-chan. Kai-chan, probably. It's probably Kai-chan. I just freaking suck at pronunciation. I guess that means you win this round. No, this was Sadako we're talking about. This is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Sadako liked to combine a variety of traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one, traps that were relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldenberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. So then, why don't you just open the door and let it drop? That's what it is. That's what Sadako was after. Making me focus my attention upward, so as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap, concealed by the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Sadako. But in the end, nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child. Assumed my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching my leg. Boing. By the time I realized she had me, hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Kai-chan, watch out! Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in mid-air before I landed on the floor. Ow, ow, ow! An ink stone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Kichie-san. Aren't we a lively one this morning? Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step from your usual traps, Sadako. I haven't even the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning, you little... Ow, ow! It seemed I inadvertently sprained my ankle a little when I landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. A small hand gently rubbed my head. Pain, go away. The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head. You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If I rub it like this, the pain disappears. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. The pain's going away now. Yay, Rika-chan! Good morning. Good morning to you, Rina. A good morning to all. Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Rina, Mion, and I bowed back. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Sadako. I glared over in her direction. Sadako was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact. I am the very model of a good girl. A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps. Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof? Haha. What? I picked up Sadako by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Trying to say that. If you won't say it. I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Sadako's forehead. I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof. Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. Can you split plywood? It can split plywood right in half. Eek! Stop! Get away from me, you beast! Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small... That's terrible. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's being lonely. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Rika-chan really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Sadako, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. Wah! It doesn't bother me. Wah! You mustn't cry, Sadako. I just made that girl cry. Keep on fighting. Yeah. Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. I think Sadako could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan. Next time, set an even more amazing trap. Wait a minute. As she observed the scene, Rina's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon. Hi-oh, Sadako-chan is crying. She's cute. You can't take them home. Huh? But they're so cute. You can't, no matter how cute they are. But just for a little bit. It's fine. It's fine? Rina kept a cutesy face, even as outrageous ideas spewed out of her mouth. According to Mion, Rina is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up. Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right? Rina swooned over Nanako's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Rina into the authorities. Forgive me, Rina. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away. The teacher is coming. Quickly clean everything up. Sadako, that inkstone is yours, right? Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbsticks stuck in the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape carefully off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Sadako was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up. Haha, we made it in time! Rise, attention! Mion gave out the morning commands. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. She has to teach something different to each one, but naturally she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Rina and Mion, being the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Rina and Mion with their studies. You're a pretty good teacher, Kayachi-kun. Easy to understand. Rina took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section. Teaching is making me lose confidence. It makes me aware of how shallow my misunderstandings of the subject are. Teaching, they say that to teach someone something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards. So while you're teaching us, you're getting in your own practice. In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me? Look, Maya, this is for your own good. If you don't take this seriously, there'll be trouble later on with these marks. It's not like I'm aiming to go to some prestigious school. I'll be fine as long as I pick up what I need to know for the entrance exam a little at a time. Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was different. This was a different type of relaxed than somebody who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exam. Mai-chan, Kaiichi-kun, is doing his best to teach us. We need to try hard too. You're such a good, honest kid, Rina. I'll make sure you guys get accepted in the good schools. Into a good school. What? Thanks so much. Especially you, Rina. Private lessons, just the two of us. Private lessons? A puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Rina's head. Exactly what kind of private lesson is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? I'd like to hear the play-by-play about that next time. While Mayan was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question. So, in the city, do you have to study this much? If you don't know at least this much, you can't get into a university. So you study to just get into a university? Well, yeah, basically. While knowing that this stuff won't ever come in handy in the future, out here you can get into university as long as your attendance is good enough. Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe is so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock. Sup, Arcana? Yeah, you guys like left me hanging, like writing some weird shit about like exposing yourself and stuff. So you guys are like on my shit list. That is right. There aren't really enough people around here to warrant weeding them out with an exam. If anyone can get into a university, there's no need to be all uptight about this stuff, right? Well, that's true, but you should at least know stuff that's common knowledge. This old geezer thinks that instead of wasting time studying pointlessly. Well, they've been actual characters on the screen for a while now, so you should be spending your precious teen years doing more meaningful things. It was too profound of a statement to simply laugh off. But since it was Mayan, it probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. In place of a chime, the second sound of the principal waving a hand bell drifted through the classroom. Kai-chan, we're done. It's our wonderful lunchtime. In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mayan gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period. Kayachi-kun, let's have lunch. I might have been making a very troubled face. Rina smiled brightly at me. Yeah, a little bit. She does kind of remind me of Lynn as well. Alright, let's eat. There seemed to be different cliques even within the class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age, but our group was different. Our ages were different and we had both boys and girls. But we weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Rina and Mayan pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Sadako and Reka-chan were slowly lugging their desks over as well. Kayachi-kun, hurry, hurry! Rina waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunchboxes. Kaicho-san's lunchboxes most absurdly filled with nothing but bread crusts, like some sort of desolate plebeian. Why don't you just show it to us? Come on. Even though Sadako was hurling insults at me, she was still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to the circle. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. Well then, Representative me. Please give the signal to start. At first, this was kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different, but we were all friends. Let's eat. The sound of our little 5-part course echoed beautifully throughout the classroom. Really though, I've gotten pretty used to this group, made up of all girls. Of course there are other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys just see older boys as scary. Compare that to girls. Well, at least these girls aren't picky. We put all the side dishes in the middle where everybody was free to pick at them. I thought the girls would mind sharing a meal. With a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mayan noticed that and teased me for quite a bit. As the fruit of my effort, I can now reach over and take the sides from anybody's lunch. My, isn't Sir Kayachan's lunch extravagant today? My, isn't Madame Sadako's lunch extravagant as well? The stewed stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy. Buying into the fight that Sadako was starting, our chopsticks locked in a cross-counter stabbing into each other's lunch. My, how delicious. Oh, this taro is good. The stewed stuff is good too, even cold. After seeing my happy face, Rika-chan's expression broke into a little smile. I saved some from dinner last night. By the way, Sadako, Rika-chan's lunches are always the same. It seems that Rika-chan makes it for both of them every day. Rika-chan made this too? These taste like mom's home cooking. I am honestly expressed. I was honestly impressed. The carrot rosettes weren't from a mold. They were done by hand with a knife. That's not easy to do. I guess Rika-chan's just good at that sort of thing. She's really good at sewing, laundry, and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing. Rika is quite exceptional in many ways. Ho 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 ho! That's nothing for you to boast about. Rena's actually better at cooking than I am. Huh? Well, you know, it seemed that the topic of the conversation switched to Rena when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Rena's lunch was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Rena's lunchbox constantly. Everyone liked this one so much before, so I made a lot this time. It's good, I hope. I hope? It's got high marks from me. Aw, man, you're talking too much. Knocking Mayan's chopsticks aside, I reach out trying to secure my own portion. Sadako and Rika-chan reached over at the same time, and a struggle ensued. Everyone shoved in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Rena's lunchbox was soon empty. It was kinda bad that no one thought to leave any for Rena, but Rena seemed rather satisfied as she looked on. How did you like it? Isn't Rena-san an extremely good cook too? Quite different from Kaicha-san. I said that's nothing for you to boast about. You're not much different, Kai-chan, Sadako. You're not much different from Kai-chan, Sadako. Can you tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet? Sadako's face went pale. Hey, even I can tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, you know. Of course I can, I really can. It's really hard for her to lie. Kaicha-kun, both taste good when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right? You shouldn't be picking on her. Maya-chan, too. Rena hurriedly tried to follow up, but Maya laughed haughtily as she drew closer to Sadako. Well, just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Now then, Sadako, what's this? Mayan lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon. But that's a Mayan made eye contact with me, and within 3 seconds I had Rika-chan's mouth covered. Holding a piece of bacon wrapped asparagus and giving her two choices. She's pretty terrible. The yellow one is cauliflower. No, wait, the green one is cauliflower. So, which? Probably the yellow one is broccoli and the blue one is cauliflower, but the green one's in its, do you really know which is which? How about you? Just give up. I'd expect no less from the class representative, the oldest. The way she drives people into a corner just shows how much experience she has. This is just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite the ordeal. I do know. I really do. Then answer the question. I know. She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she actually starts to seem her age. Hi, so cute! Rina entered in a state of euphoria as Sadako bawled her eyes out. Rina was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Sadako's head and smothered it. Really? A very content face? One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then? It was that kind of smile. Rina, Mimi is picking on me. Wow. Cute. It's okay, Rina. Oni-chan. We'll take care of all those bad people who tease my little sister. Frish, boof, bam. It was a flash of lightning. What was that just now? Both Rina's fists shot out at a supersonic speed, striking Mayon and me squarely in our faces. Before we knew it, Mayon and I were sprawled, spread eagle, on the floor, staring at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces. This is the first time you've gotten one right. Today, she went easy on us. Easy? You mean? There's nothing harder than this. With that, Mayan and I both slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Rina. See, Sadako-chan? I took care of them. Cute. I want to take you home. Making sure Rina couldn't see it, Sadako stuck her tongue out at us. Tist. Damn it all. Using Rina like a puppet. Rika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. Alright. I'm gonna save. Let me see. Let's just make up. Full on save. Not a quick save, so yes. Close that out. Let's go over here and change it to the big old screen that says professional streamer, which everyone knows this guy is anything but that. But anyway, I guess this hasn't really been the hit that I thought it might be, you know, kind of like, you know, old school visual novel. But hopefully, you know, it picks up, and because I heard it's actually kind of a horror game, so I don't know. But anyway, I will catch you guys tomorrow night, and we will continue this thing. I'm just doing hour streams for this, so I mean, might do more, but you guys ain't feeling it tonight, so you know, fuck it. This has been Awakened Heathen. This has been Higurashi. And we're out of here.